There really is nothing to read. Whatever. I'm going to bed. Good night. You. Ah! Should read Toilet Bound Hanako-Kun. Sounds good to me. Written by the team Ida Iro, Toilet Bound Hanako-Kun is an ongoing, comedic, supernatural fiction manga with 17 books currently released. The story follows a group of 3 friends, Hanako, Nene, and Ko, and their adventures around their school dealing with the various supernaturals. Here is why you should read this amazing manga series. The story of Toilet Bound Hanako-Kun is a bizarre one to say the least. There are many strange events that occur within the story, but nothing ever really seems out of place. Because of the nature of the supernatural genre, the authors can make the characters, settings, and events as crazy and wacky as they want and it'll still fit the genre. I mean, the first major story arc of the books has the main character, Nene, eat a mermaid scale, which causes her to turn into a fish and thus to become the next princess. Oh, and did I mention that the mermaid queen of the fish world tries to take her by force? Yeah, not the most typical of the stories that you normally read, but that's exactly why it's so great, because of how nonsensical and fun the story can be at times. Due to the great writing of the series, it's near impossible to try and predict what will happen next. The various twists and turns make sense within the story, and they don't feel like they come out of nowhere. This keeps readers engaged throughout the entire story and makes them interested as to what will happen with the characters. In addition, although Toilet Bound is primarily a comedic supernatural series, there are some moments where the story gets extremely dark and emotional. Characters are forced to face the consequences of their past actions, and not every character gets a happy ending to their story. This series does a great job of being able to explore deep topics and themes while still being able to keep its identity as a story. Not only is the writing of the story great, but the characters are also very iconic with unique characteristics that distinguish them from one another. Hanako-Kun is a childish and immature ghost that hides a dark past from everyone. He has a mischievous nature about him, and he loves to tease his friends, namely Nene and Ko. Despite his silly personality, Hanako deals with a lot behind the scenes. He is single-handedly responsible for keeping the balance between the living and the dead as the leader of the 7 School Mysteries, which are 7 supernatural beings that have a great impact throughout the entire story. In addition, Hanako's past is one that is crucial to the story, but is one that is drop-fed to the reader throughout the chapters. I won't spoil anything here, but I will say that it's very intriguing, but at the same time, also very sad. Nene is a hopeless romantic that falls in love with any hot guy, but she genuinely cares about her friends. She is quite outgoing and earnest, and she seeks to gain the approval of her peers. Her kindness is one of her strong suits, and she wants to help anyone she can, even going so far as to risk her own safety by dealing with supernaturals for the sake of others. She wants her friends to be happy because that brings joy to herself, making her a great selfless character that is enjoyable to watch. On the other hand though, her most notable trait are her ankles. Like, dang! Look at those chunky radish legs. Sorry, that's a reoccurring joke about the story. Moving on. Ko, as the third main protagonist, is a strong-willed though slightly silly exorcist who looks up to his older brother. He is a cheerful kid, though he can be reckless at times, jumping into things without thinking, which can ultimately lead to his downfall. Although he is loud and brash, He is also kind and polite to others, despite his outward demeanor. Ko is extremely loyal and open-minded, as seen when he becomes friends with Hanako, a supernatural that he was supposed to exorcise. Together, these three characters make for a great main protagonist team. Not to mention, there are also many side characters who are also very entertaining and delightful to read. There is never a dull moment in the story because every character is honestly really likable and they all have their own unique charm to them. Some notable examples include Aoi, Tsukasa, Mitsuba, and Natsuhiko. I will begin by saying, holy shiz, the art is gorgeous. I don't even know where to begin. There's so many components that make the artwork so nice to look at that I'm gonna have to break down this section into various subsections in order to get everything said. The character designs in Toilet-Bound Hanako-Kun are wonderfully unique, not just in the human characters, but also in the supernaturals that appear in the series. They all have their own unique features that set them apart from the rest, such as their style of clothing, their facial expressions, and even their physical bodies. Every character feels fresh and distinct from each other, with only one notable exception being that of Hanako's brother. The detail put into the different areas of the school is simply magnificent. The establishing shots of Toilet Bound do a great job of showcasing the areas that the characters are in. The illustrator somehow manages to include so much detail into these drawings without over-cluttering the page with worthless lines. This also applies to the backgrounds of various scenes that are often overlooked but help to add to a wholeness of the panel. The emotions cast on the characters' faces are beautiful. The way Toilet Bound draws the faces and body language does a wonderful job of conveying what the characters are feeling. However, I believe that the best work comes from their drawings of pure, raw emotion. There are numerous scenes in Toilet Bound where a character explodes with anger, despair, sadness, or desperateness, and these scenes are absolutely marvelous to look at. Though this is a smaller aspect of the overall art, there's something about the way the eyes are drawn that makes me love them. It's hard to pinpoint precisely why I like the eyes as much as I do. Maybe it's because of how uniquely they're drawn, or maybe it's because of the different ways the eyes are used in impactful scenes. Regardless, while this part of the art may be small, I feel like it adds a lot when you take your time to appreciate it. See? Didn't I tell you you'd like it? Yeah. Actually, I liked it so much. I bought the first 7 books of the whole thing. Oh, good to know that you like it so much. Actually, I liked it so much. I have my own manga shelf now. Oh, that was fast. Oh, and I have an Amazon order with another 500 manga books coming in. I got Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, Fairy Tail, My Hero, JoJo, Hunter x Hunter. Oh god, what have I done?